to the needs of the business. However, conducting primary research is often time-consuming and expensive. Some businesses employ a market research agency to carry out research. Agencies are experts in gathering, presenting, and analyzing information. However, they may be too expensive for many businesses. Some of the main methods of gathering primary data are discussed below. So, we have one method. We have two methods of primary research. We have two methods of research. We have the primary method and the secondary method. For primary method, it means primary research simply means we are gathering information first hand. That means we call it first hand because this information is never in existence. This information has never been in existence. No one has ever carried out this information. You are the first person gathering this information. That is why we call it first hand.
Like
are you
how?
with me? Making a research about something right now. You doing the research.
Yeah.
So it is first hand. You are the one in the field. So that is what we call primary research. Do you understand what primary research is here?
Okay.
You are collecting new information about a particular project, about a particular topic.
That no one researched before.
What?
That no one researched before.
The topic might be relevant, but what we are saying is that the information you are gathering, you are the one gathering the information on the field. That is primary research. Do you understand what primary research is now? You are the one collecting the information from maybe new sources. Is it clear?
Clear.
So the main advantage of this is that it is original, and whatever information you gather, it's based on the needs of the business. You wouldn't just go out there to make research about what is not important. You're going to make research about what is important for the business. Yes or no?
Yes.
So that means you are gathering original reports that will be useful to the business. That's the advantage about it. But the problem about it is that it is time consuming and expensive. It takes time before you can, gather people, gather information. It costs money. Did you get it? But the main advantage is that it allows the business to adapt, to adapt to the needs of customers. Because you are making information, you are gathering to the needs of the customers or the objective of the business. Because you are gathering information based on a concept. And everything about it will be applicable because it's first hand. Is it clear?
What about the second?
Secondary. That is information that is already, in existence. We're going to get
someone
there.
else.
Yeah, by another researcher. We're going to get there. So let's go to types of primary research. The first one, questionnaire. Are you there? A questionnaire is a list of written questions. They are very common in market research and are used to record the views and opinions of respondents. A good questionnaire will have the following features. So we call it questionnaire because it's a list that is written based on different questions. So a list or a document that contains different questions for respondents. So we have to fill the question. We have to fill the form. That's a questionnaire. Clear?
Sure.
So what makes a good questionnaire? Number one, a balance of open and closed questions. So closed questions allow respondents a limited range of responses. An example would be, how many times have you flown with Emirates this year? The answer to closed questions are easier to analyze mathematically. Open questions let people say whatever they want. So a good questionnaire must have a balance, must strike a balance between open question and closed questions.
What are they though?
What?
Like what are they and what's the difference?
For open questions, it allows you to come up with your own opinion. You are not restricted to certain answers. That is an open question. And for closed questions, you have limits. It could be a yes or no thing.
Oh.
Clear?
Sure.
Alright, so a good questionnaire must strike a balance between open and closed questions. 2. Contain clear and simple questions. Questions must be clear, avoiding use of jargon, poor grammar, and bad spelling. You must use words that are understandable, not terms that are not understandable to respondents. Do you get it? That's jargon. Is it clear?
Yeah.
The third one, not contain leading questions. Leading questions are those that suggest a certain answer. So your questionnaire must not already give the answer to the respondent. So you don't give leading questions. Leading questions that suggest what the answer should be. You shouldn't make your questionnaire like that. Do you get it? So a good questionnaire must not contain a leading question. That's the point there. Is it clear?
Question.
Is it clear, please?
So basically, the question should not be that obvious.
Yes, it must not just give. It must not already give the answer. Do you get the point now?
Yeah.
Be short, be short. If questionnaires are too long, people may be reluctant to answer them or may stop partway through. So your questionnaire must not be so long that keep people, the respondents, get bored about. So it must be short so that they can answer and return. If it is too long, they wouldn't even, they might answer some and leave the rest partway.
That's the answer should be short.
The questionnaire, the questions must not be too long. Maybe 1 to 10 questions, not 1 to 30, 40, 50 questions. Who has the time?
Yeah.
Nobody has time to sit down and start answering questions for a business.
Sure.
Do you understand? I think it's clear.
Yeah.
Questionnaires can be used in different situations. So we can use questionnaires via postal survey. So for postal survey, questionnaires are sent out to people by letter and they are asked to complete them in their own time. They may be more convenient for people, but the majority of the questionnaires are never returned. This means that resources are wasted. So there are different ways in which you can use questionnaire. You can use it through postal survey. So for postal survey, these questions are sent to different people in different geographical locations. So it will go through the postal service. Then as soon as you receive it, you fill the form, you answer the questions, and you return. But most of the time, a lot of questionnaires are never returned. A lot of postal surveys or questionnaires through postal surveys are never returned. I get it, I receive it, I never return it. I don't have to, I just drop it somewhere. That's the problem about it. And if that happens, resources are wasted because it never served the purpose. 2, telephone interviews. For telephone interviews, this means you are reaching out, you are reaching through, you are making a call through to someone.
Yeah.
Maybe interview. And the advantage about making call through is that you get a feedback immediately. And it's a cheaper means of gathering information. Do you get that?
Yeah, sure.
But some people do not like being phoned by businesses. So that's the problem about telephone conversation. You might put a call through and the person doesn't want to even receive your call. They don't like random calls. Do you get it? The third one, personal interviews. For personal interview, this is, one-on-one. You meet people in the street, you ask them questions and they give answers. Is it clear?
Sure.
Is it clear, please?
Yeah, sure.
The advantage is that as the respondents whatever the respondents don't understand, they can ask the interviewer. Do you get it? And the last one about questionnaire is online survey. Online survey has access to computers increase around the world. So does the use of online surveys. These are similar to postal survey, except respondents may be directed to a questionnaire after receiving an email confirming an online transaction. So the difference between online survey and the postal survey is that for online survey, it might come at the end of a transaction. Sometimes you use a WhatsApp call. You make a WhatsApp call, and after the conversation, it say, how do you see WhatsApp? Excellent, this, good, very good, poor, and the rest. That's a survey. That's an online survey.
Yeah, sure.
So most of the time, that's the difference between an online survey and the postal survey. For online survey, it might come immediately after a transaction, and you will quickly get the feedback. Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yeah.
All right, done. So we'll go to the next one. Focus group or consumer panels. If a business wants very detailed information from customers, it might use focus groups or consumer panels. A focus group is where a number of customers are invited to attend a discussion led by market researchers. The group must be representative of the whole population and be prepared to answer detailed questions. This is relatively cost-effective method of collecting information, but the group may be small, so generalizing from the results may not be reliable. For focus group, we call it focus group or consumer panel. Here, you try to gather a group of people to represent the whole population. Gathering group of people to represent the whole population. That is what focus group is. So it means those people will represent the whole population. Instead of you to gather information about or to make interviews or to get information from a large number of people, you use certain group of people to represent that population. That is what consumer panel or focus group is. So the advantage is that it is cheap. It's a cheap way of gathering information. But the problem is the group that you have chosen might not truly represent the whole population. So it means you might not be able to generalize your research. Get what I'm saying here? You know, there are 200 people here.
I do not get it.
I will explain again. There are 200 people in the sample. There are 200 people in the sample population.
Okay, sure.
So instead of interviewing 200 people, that is too much, right? You choose 10 out of them to represent the group. So these 10 people.
Random people.
What?
10 random people.
10 out of the population.
Yeah, sure.
So these are the people you want to, observe or interview. So the advantage about it is that this group are seen to this group is cheap because you don't have to spend more time, you don't have to spend more money in the course of interviewing or observing large numbers of people. Do you get it? That's the advantage. It's a cheap way of gathering information. But the problem about focus group is this: focus group does not represent the whole population. You can't just choose 10 people in a group or 10 people out of a population and believe that those 10 people represent the whole population. They can't. They cannot be, the 10 people cannot behave the same way as the 200 people. There will be slightly different.
Is there any solution?
No, there's solution. You find a more suitable method of carrying out your research, maybe online survey. So what we're just talking about different types of primary research. You can use the focus group too. So for focus group, it is cheaper for a business to use. But the problem is that the group selected might not be true representative of the whole population. And if the group selected is not the true representation of the whole population, it means you cannot generalize your research. Because the purpose of the research is to generalize.
Sure.
To assume that everything that you are able to gather, all information you are able to gather from those selected group represents the whole population. But that is generalization.
Yeah.
But if the group does not represent the whole population, it is not generalized.
It can be one of these types, right?
What?
The surveys and the online survey to
So the problem is using this. You already know what the problem is when you use focus group, right? Then you try other methods. That's the point.
Yeah.
Is it clear now?
Clear.
If one is not working, whenever you want to make decision as a business,
it doesn't help for the business. You'll find another one.
You check the advantages and the disadvantages. If the benefit is more than the cost, that is what we call dynamic efficiency. So if the benefit is more than the cost, you have accessed it. You have made assessment about the benefit and the cost. So then you make your decision about it. Is it clear?
Clear.
Then the next one, that's focus group. Then we go to observation. Are you there?
That's how business try to pick people.
They try to make the right decision about what kind of market research they need to use. And also you have to put in mind that it also falls back to the capacity, the financial capability of the business.
Sure.
Is it clear? Is it clear, please?
Yeah, clear.
The next one is observation. This is a market. This is where market researchers watch the behavior of customers. For observation, it simply means the researchers they watch the behavior of customers. They watch the behavior of customers. Most of the time, they do this for the retail outlets, the retailers. So they said the observers might record the amount of time customers spend looking at a particular product and displays in the store. However, because there is no feedback using this method, a lot of questions may go unanswered. The observers do not ask customers to explain the reasons for their behavior. So for observation, you are observing.
Observing.
And when you observe, sometimes it is covered. We have the covered. That means it is undercover. They don't know that you're observing them. The customers do not know that you're observing them. You don't get what I'm saying here?
Yeah.
For observation, it means you are, as a researcher, you're watching the behavior of customers. That is what observation is about.
Isn't it that weird? I mean, like what's the point of it?
The point is you want to get information and you want to get it through observation. That's the decision of the business.
So if you go to the store and you look at the product.
Not looking at the behavior of customers.
Yeah, behavior. I'm just saying the behavior of customers,
Okay.
and you just and you look at the customer.
Not one customer.
Yeah,
There are certain
the-
things. Listen, there are certain things you look out for.
Yeah, sure.
So you're not just going to go there to. The behavior we're talking about is how they act. You have your script.
Mm.
What you are supposed to watch. You have the details. So those things are what you need to check out on customers. So you check out these things amongst the customers, their behavior. So you observe their behavior. That means you monitor, you watch their behavior. Then you make your notes about those things. That is what observation is about.
Sure.
Do you get it? But the problem is that you don't get feedback. You don't get feedback because you are unable to ask questions from the respondents. There are no respondents. You are only seeing them from afar. You can't ask them questions. You have to observe them. That's all. So it means a lot of questions will go unanswered because each customer will behave in a certain way that you will not be able to ask him or her why he or she behaved the way he or she has behaved.
Sure.
That is observation. Is observation clear? Is observation clear or not?
Clear.
So for observation, I'm going to summarize it again. Observation means you are watching over behavior of customers based on the details you need to get or based on the information you need to gather as a result of your own research. This allows you to see customers in a way that in their natural environment because they don't know if you are observing them or not. Do you get it? So you might be seeing their natural behavior. But the problem about observation is that you don't get feedback. Why is it difficult to get feedback? It's difficult to get feedback because you are only to observe. So you're not going to ask them why they have behaved in the way they have behaved. So that means there's no feedback when it comes to observation.
I get it.
So the problem about observation as a primary method of research is that there's no feedback. There's no feedback because you cannot ask customers why and what makes them to behave the way they have behaved. Is it clear? Any question about that? Any question, please?
I know.
Then test marketing. This involves test marketing. This involves selling a new product in a restricted geographical area to test it and sales level before a national launch. After a set period, feedback is gathered from customers. The feedback is used to modify the product before the final launch. This reduces the risk of failure. When we talk about test marketing, it means the product is available, but before you launch the product to the world, you choose a geographical location. You choose a geographical location.
Sure.
You sell. You sell the product there. Are you with me?
Yeah, I get it.
You sell the product in that geographical location. It won't exit there to get feedback from customers to see what they're going to say about the product. And if adjustment has to be made, you'll be able to quickly make the adjustment before the final launching.
I understand.
Do you understand or not?
Yeah, I think I heard of some
test marketing.
Yeah, I heard of it.
Making a new product, but testing.
I heard some products are doing like restricted, testing in restricted geographical
area. So it won't exist there. So as soon as they are able to get information feedback about the product, if adjustment needs to be made, they make it, and that's all.
Yeah.
Is it clear?
Sure.
So go to secondary research. Are you there? Are you there, please?
Yes.
Secondary research. Methods of secondary research. Businesses use secondary or desk research to collect information that already exists. It has been collected by someone else and may be available for other users. The information collected by the internal, the information may be internal, which means that it already exists inside the business. It can also be external, which means it exists outside the business. We call it secondary research because this information is already in existence. It is not information that you gathered. It is not on the field. It is a desk information. And if it is desk, it means it has already been carried out. The research has already been carried out by someone else, by another researcher. But it's for you to use. You have the access. You have access to use it.
Sure.
Do you get what secondary research is here?
No.
Secondary research or desk research is a form of research that is already in existence. It is already existing. A researcher has carried out the information, has gathered the information before you. So you only have to use it.
So basically, the difference between the secondary and primary. Primary is you have to find your own research.
Information, yeah.
Yeah, you have to find your own.
But secondary
you have to
is
find
desk. It's already there.
It's already there.
Is it clear?
It's only there, but like what's? I'm just saying what's my question is, after you found the information, what's like next? What's
What next?
Yeah, what's
You
next?
know, whatever information in secondary research, whatever information for the secondary research, one thing is certain. Whatever information you find or whatever information you see in the secondary research, it will not give you the right answer to your needs, because the research was for someone else. There was a purpose for that research. It might be similar to yours. Maybe you need information about secondary school students. The research you have is about secondary school students, but secondary school students, maybe boys only. That is what you need. But what they have is secondary school students. So it means you will be able to get information about secondary school students, but it's not restricted to boys alone. It is both boys and girls. So, but it gives you an ample opportunity.
It gives you a hint.
It gives you an hint. That's the point.
Yeah.
So you're still it becomes like a point of reference to carry on or to further your own research.
Sure.
That is what secondary research is about. Is it clear now?
Yeah, clear.
Okay. So secondary research is quicker and easier to gather. So for internal, it is called internal because it's already in existence. It's already existing in the business. And it is external because it's already existing outside of the business.
Okay.
Clear?
Like
The information. Internal could be sales figure of the last 10 years.
Oh, okay, sure.
External could be secondary school student information or from the Ministry of Education.
Yeah, sure.
Clear? So secondary research is quicker and easier to gather. For example, internal data may be immediately available on internal company network. Also, a lot of external data is available online. However, the main problem with desk research is that the data collected might not be exactly what the business needs. That was what I was telling you.
Yeah.
It may also be out of date and therefore inaccurate. It might be outdated.
Yeah, it could be different. Maybe trends, it's different.
Yes. And if it's outdated, it means it's not accurate. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So let's go on. So what are secondary data? They said examples of secondary data: business websites, the media, commercial publications, government publications, internal data, competitors. These are how you could gather secondary data. Is it clear?
Competitors, what you get? Say it again.
Competitors, yeah. Competitors, they have information posted too. You can go to your competitors' website to get information from them. That's the secondary resource.
Yeah, sure.
So that's the point. So these are examples of secondary data.
You may get like financial documents, maybe,
Information about their product, information about their service.
Yeah, ingredients. Maybe some stuff. Yeah, sure.
So that's the point there. I think it's clear.
Clear.
So that's about secondary research.
Yeah, media, commercial publications.
Do you want me to explain further?
Yeah, about commercial publications.
Yeah. What businesses are doing? Well, are they merging? Are they acquiring other businesses? Stuff like that. Are they selling shares? What are they doing?
I see.
It's commercial. Commercial means selling.
Yeah, sure.
Is it clear now?
Clear.
Good.
Okay, and then you have government publications.
Yeah, I told you. Government information. Maybe about education, about employment, about whatever it is.
Yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, I get it.
Shall we move on now, please?
Sure, mister.
Okay.
Move on.
Okay, done. So we'll go on to qualitative and quantitative data. Some of the data gathered by market researchers is qualitative data. This means that the information is about the attitudes, beliefs, and intention of consumers. It is usually written down in words or recorded in a video clip, perhaps. Focus groups, interviews, and social media can be used to gather qualitative data. Consumer messages on social media about a new product in the market would be an example of qualitative data. Although quantitative data can be quite detailed, which is useful, it is also open to many different interpretations. This means that there are many disagreements within the business about the usefulness of qualitative research. It is less easy to analyze statistically than quantitative data. So when we talk about qualitative data is about gathering information about opinion of people, intentions of people,
Yeah.
attitudes of people, belief of people.
Mm.
So when people say their mind about something, so this is what they feel, this is what they believe. So whatever they say, whatever information you gather to what they say, because of how they feel, it is qualitative. This is what we call qualitative data.
Sure.
But the problem about qualitative data is that it is open to different interpretation. I could tell you I have headache, or I could tell you I don't like your product. Not liking your product might not mean that it might mean that there is a specific thing about your product that I don't like. But how I said it means that you think I don't like the product as a whole. But maybe there's a specific thing I don't like about your product. Do you get what I'm saying here?
So it's not accurate.
It's people's mind, people's opinion.
Yeah.
You can't interpret the way I will
You cannot
interpret
read
it.
it.
It's difficult for us to agree on interpretation. This is how I feel. This is my opinion. Everybody has
Different
rights
opinion.
to their opinions. So different opinions will come with different interpretation. So because of that, it makes it difficult to use qualitative data. So a lot of businesses, they have disagreements because of interpretation. Oh, product A is better than product B. How is product A better than product B? Are you able to analyze how? Your analysis about how might be different from my own analysis. Did you get it?
The way you feel not the same as the way you describe the product.
So my belief, my opinion, my analysis,
Will be different.
my intentions will be different from yours. And we might be talking about the same product or the same service. But what we are saying about the same product or service differ.
Sure.
So that is the problem about qualitative data. But you have to understand that when you talk about qualitative data, it gives you, the right value. It brings about validity. Do you understand? It brings about validity because
how is validity?
Because it's from the heart of people. It's from their mind. They are saying how they feel. When I say how I feel relieved. Do you get it?
Yeah.
So for the business, they are able to get information from the right source. They are able to get information from those that are affected.
The right people.
Yes. That is about qualitative data. But the problem is about the interpretation. Clear.
Yeah.
And it is more useful than they said, although quantitative data can be quite detailed, which is useful, it is also open to many different interpretations. Yeah, that's what I want to say. It is less easy to analyze statistically than quantitative data.
Why?
For statistics, statistics are figures. Figures don't lie.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Figures don't lie. Figures are more accurate.
Yeah.
Because they are numbers. 1 is 1, 12 is 12, 700 is 700.
Yeah.
Your 700, the interpretation of your understanding of 700 is the same as my understanding of 700.
So quantitative data is about analytics.
Yeah, because it's about
numbers.
statistics.
It's about the numbers.
It's about numbers, yes.
Whereas the
Qualitative is about opinion.
Opinion. How can you describe the product?
It's quite detailed. It's detailed analysis about people, about their intention, about their attitude.
Yeah. Sure.
But for a research to be, to be useful, it has to be both qualitative and quantitative. So let's go to quantitative now. Quantitative data is expressed in numbers and can be measured. This usually means that the market researchers collect statistical data such as sales figures and market share. Surveys and government publications are common sources of quantitative data. Quantitative data is often easier to gather. process and present to readers. It is also regarded as being open to less interpretation than qualitative data. So the benefit of quantitative data is that they are figures and they are quite easy to understand.
Yeah.
Because whatever you present to me in terms of figure is the same comprehension I'm going to give to it. Is the same comprehension you're going to give to it when it's being presented to you.
Sure.
That is about quantitative data. Any
But-
question about qualitative
No, I
and
mean,
quantitative?
what does government publication do to business?
Government what government comes up with policies. Government comes up with regulations.
Yeah, what does affect to quantitative data, like statistics and stuff?
Government might come up with information about the past businesses, like schools. Okay, for example, the Ministry of Education, they have lists of all the schools with them. Yes or no?
Yeah.
They have not just the list. They have maybe even
Quality.
the number of students, the number of teachers they have.
Qualities?
So these are government publications.
Yeah.
So they want to be sure about everything. Is it clear now?
Yeah.
So that is quantitative because it's about figures.
So basically, quantitative data is about the numbers. Basically.
Numbers, yes.
Yeah, basically. So you want to gather as much people as possible to get the same, or at least the same opinion. Not the same opinion. I mean,
Opinion is not. You're not going to talk about opinion when
Yeah.
it's quantitative.
I mean, the same
Quantitative is about statistic analysis,
number. Sure. Yeah.
statistical analysis about figures, about numbers.
Numbers.
That is quantitative. For qualitative, then you talk about details, about opinions, intention, people's views, altitude. Clear now?
Sure. Oh yeah, I get it. Sure.
So go on. Role of social media. Idea.
And in collecting market research data.
Role of social media in collecting market research data. Social media is playing an increasing role in marketing because marketing businesses use social media platforms and blogs to gather information. Social media can provide a cheap way of gathering information about a firm's customer, market, brand appearance, and other market issues. For example, most social media platforms offer numerous ways to analyze trends and conduct market research. By searching the latest posts and popular terms, it is possible to gain some understanding of emerging trends and see what customers are talking about in real time. So that's about social media. So
What do you mean by that?
social media, it says social media can be used to collect data in market research. These days, businesses, they use social media platforms, blogs,
Okay, sure.
to gather information, to gather opinion, to know about the latest trend, to know about people's comments about a product, about a service, even to know about people's comments about their competitors. Do you get it? So they gather popularity through social media. So that's the point. So businesses use social media platforms and blogs to gather information. Social media can provide a cheap way of gathering information about a firm's customers, market, brand appearance, and other market issues. So most of the social media platforms, you get information, you get to know what customers' opinions are. They say it under comment sections. You know what the latest trends are. Then, as a business, because you know the latest trend, you'll be able to, provide or produce your goods in line to what the trends are. So that is what social media, in real time, you get information about how things are.
Yeah.
Present time. That is what social media is about.
Okay, I get it.
Is it clear?
Clear. So it is about you can basically it's fast, easy, more personal. You can find so many opinions on your competitors or your company easier.
Yeah, through blogs, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, so on.
Yeah, you can basically find opinions
Yes.
easily.
So people if you can easily gather opinion about. Do you get it?
Yeah, you can just search it up and boom, it comes up with an opinion.
Look at the Facebook. If you need to get information about different schools, just have to go to a Facebook site, a Facebook maybe that pertains to education. They talk about different schools. They talk about different how good they are, how worse they are. They talk about that. So you gather information about it.
Yeah.
Now the last point here: importance of the reliability of market research data. The importance of the reliability of market research data. Although carrying out market research can reduce the risk of product failing in the market, it is important to ensure that the data gathered is reliable. If market research data is inaccurate or out of date, any decision based on the data are likely to be unsound. The reliability of market research data often depends on the number of people questioned and whether they represent the views of everyone. Ideally, information could be gathered from every single person in the market. However, this would take too long and cost too much money. To overcome this problem, business use a sample. And when I talk about a sample, that means you are using a small group of people to represent a proportion of the total market. That is what sample is. Small group of people to represent the population. That's a sample. Are you with me, please?
I don't get it.
A sample is getting information from a smaller group, which represents the whole population. That's what sample is.
Yeah.
The population is large. To conduct research with large population is expensive and consuming and time consuming.
Yeah.
So choose small group of people that represent the proportion of that population.
Yeah.
So that is what sample is about. Is it clear?
Clear.
Okay. So however, the behavior and views of sample must be representative of all the people in the market. Otherwise, the data will be biased and unreliable. So it is important for whatever research we carry out to be reliable.
Okay.
And being reliable means whatever information we have, whatever method we use, in the next time we use it, we'll still get the same result. That is reliability.
Yeah.
You get it? But when it comes to gathering information about people, about things like this, it might be difficult because you need to select a group of people that would represent the whole population.
So, Mr. I want to ask you something.
Yes.
What's the difference between this
Focus group?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. Customer panel. What's the
Consumer
difference?
panel, focus group and sample.
Yeah.
No. Focus group here, you have chosen certain people. You have chosen them
Yeah.
based on maybe certain characteristics.
That's for focus panel. Yeah, that's for customer panel.
So you choose these people to represent the whole population. But for sample can be carried out in different ways. Because we have the random one, we have the stratified one, and we have the random sampling, we have stratified sampling, and I think we have another one, I forgot anyway. So for sample, you choose a group of people representing the proportion of the population. That is sample.
So basically, it's more quicker and.
Yeah, because it's a smaller group.
It's not time consuming.
It's
compared to focus
group. Yeah, it is not. It is not time consuming.
Just give opinion and that's it.
That's it. So, but the problem about it is that those people that you're going to choose, you have to for sample. It is easier for sample because you might choose them based on their characteristics.
Yeah, sure.
Do you get the point here? You might choose these people based on characteristics.
Yeah.
But for focus group, they are the same people, but they are representing the population. Those that you've chosen are representing the whole group. That is focus group. But for sample, is the population that you are selecting group of people to represent.
Sure.
Is it clear? So here, it has to be reliable. So the reliability is about not being biased and general representation. It has to
It has to be the opinion. It has to have.
It has to be.
The sample
it must be generalized.
So basic sample of people. A sample of people. Basically, it has to be. They have to be. Objective.
Objectivity, yes.
Yeah, on their opinion.
So, to make it reliable, it has to be objective.
Sure.
It has to be reliable. If not, then there's no point carrying it out. It becomes unreliable.
Yeah, it makes
Is it
no
clear?
sense.
Any question about it?
Okay, it says business should also.
Then said the business should also appreciate that human behavior is unpredictable. Although people may indicate their intentions in a questionnaire, what they do in reality might be quite different. People might change their minds on or misunderstand the question. They might also give answers that they think the interviewer wanted to hear. Finally, if questionnaires are poorly designed or interviewers have not been trained, the quality of the research carried out might be poor. These issues must be addressed to ensure the reliability of the data. So
What do you mean by that?
another problem about research
Mm.
goes to the interviewer and the understanding or the unpredictability of people.
Mm.
For example, interviews. You might be interviewing me, and I might give you answers that I feel you want to hear.
Mm. Sure.
I'm not objective here, I'm subjective. I'm subjective because I'm saying things that will, gladdens your mind.
Mm. That's
Things that will make you happy.
yeah.
That is not reliability.
Mm.
That is bias.
Mm.
You get it? It might be as a result of how you portray yourself as an interviewer.
Mm.
Do you get it? And sometimes those carrying out the research, they might not be well trained. And if the researcher is not well trained, that means he or she will be lacking the skills needed to carry out tangible research.
Mm.
So these are problems about research.
Sure.
Is it clear?
Mm. So it has to be not poor. It has to, the interview has to be clear
Yes.
and reliable.
Objective, yeah.
Mm.
Clear.
Yeah. Next topic.
Alright, go to multiple choice question, please.
Okay.
Hold on, please. Okay. Multiple choice question, please.
Okay, sure. Number one, which of the following is an example of quantitative data? A. Our market share is 14%. B. I like the product because it is reliable. C. The product is packaged very attractively. D. I would buy the product if it was available online.
The question is saying, which of the following is an example of quantitative data?
Okay, sure. It's about numbers.
Okay, so what's the answer?
Easy. A.
A. I like the product because it is reliable. That is qualitative. The product is packaged very attractively. That's qualitative. I would buy the product if it is
It's also quantitative.
qualitative.
Because B, C, D are opinions.
Yes. Question two.
Yeah, I know. Because quantitative is about statistics, it's numbers,
Yeah.
and qualitative is about opinions.
So yeah, question two now, please.
Okay. Number two. One purpose of market share is to do
Market research.
What did I say?
Market share.
I said market. Sure. Yeah. One purpose of market research is to do which of the following: A. Cut the cost of advertising. B. Exploit economies of scale. C. Reduce the risk in business. D. Lower the barriers to communication.
So what's the purpose of market research?
C. Reduce the risk in business.
Business, yes. Risk of
Very
failure.
obvious. B is like it's about finance, so it's not really.
Cut the cost is about finance.
D,
Yes.
D lower the barriers to communicate. That's in the business. It's not, to customers.
So we could lower the barriers to communication.
Yeah.
That is about effective communication, so it's not.
Yeah.
And expect economies of scale is about production,
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
So the answer is what?
It's of course obvious.
C,
C. Yeah, I said it earlier. C.
Okay, question 3.
3. Selling a new product in a restrictive geographical
In the
area.
restricted,
I said
restrictive. Restricted.
Okay, I said it restricted. Geographical area to test it before a national launch is called test marketing.
Text marketing, yes.
4. Which the
Question 4.
following is an example of internal secondary data?
Internal.
Yeah, I said it, internal secondary data. A. Historic sales
Historic
figures.
sales figures.
B. Government statistics. C. A market research report from specialist agency. D. A press release by a competitor.
Internal, secondary.
Internal is from the business. External is outside the business. So the internal is A.
Historic sales figure. Yeah, it is A.
Yeah.
Government statistic.
Government is from the government.
external.
It's from the special agency, and D is from competitors. It's not the business itself.
B, C, D are external secondary data.
Yeah, it's from other sources.
Outside of the business.
Yeah.
So that ends chapter.
I mean, obvious.
Chapter what, please?
Market research.
That ends chapter what?
Okay, 33.
Chapter 33.